Thank you for joining us. We begin with a power struggle spilling across West Africa. An assassination plot targeting Burkina Faso's leader Ibrahim Traore is now unravelling beyond its borders, with a former president accused of being the mastermind of the attack has been arrested and extradited from Togo. That man is Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, a former lieutenant colonel who briefly ruled Burkina Faso after a military coup in 2022. Reports say Damiba was detained last week in Lomé. He was reportedly questioned over his attempted coup in Burkina Faso and then escorted to the airport, where Togolese government claims he has been returned to his home country. Ouagadougou is yet to confirm these reports, but multiple reports suggest he has indeed been sent back to Burkina Faso.
Hi guys, if this is true, then I'm definitely gonna say this is the best news ever in 2026, because this guy has been trying to assassinate Ibrahim Traore for so long. I mean, most of the assassination attempts on Traore was actually planned by him, and obviously we know Ivory Coast. So this is like, okay, imagine Ibrahim Traore was almost assassinated twice in the new year, on the 3rd and on the 6th. So don't you guys think this is good news? Listen to that.
Rapidly spreading reports suggest that former Burkina Faso transitional president Paul-Henri Damiba was reportedly arrested in Lomé, expelled, and transferred back to Burkina Faso. If confirmed, this moment may represent more than just an arrest. It could signal a turning point in West African resistance against foreign-backed destabilization. For years, Africa has been treated like a chessboard. Leaders installed, leaders removed, chaos financed, resources extracted. But today, something feels different, because this time Africa is pushing back. To understand the gravity of this moment, we must understand who Paul-Henri Damiba is. In January 2022, Damiba rose to power through a military coup that removed President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore. At the time, many Burkinabe hoped change had finally arrived. The country was drowning in insecurity. Jihadist violence was spreading. Trust in civilian leadership had collapsed. But Damiba's leadership quickly disappointed. Within 8 months, conditions worsened. Territory was lost. Soldiers and civilians continued to die. And whispers began to circulate. Was Damiba truly fighting for Burkina Faso, or was he serving foreign interests? By September 2022, the answer came swiftly. Captain Ibrahim Traore, one of the youngest heads of state in the world, removed Damiba from power. His message was clear. Burkina Faso would no longer tolerate failure, compromise, or foreign manipulation. Traore did not speak like a politician. He spoke like a soldier defending his homeland. He openly criticized Western interference. He rejected dependency. He aligned with African partners instead of foreign masters. And most importantly, he placed African sovereignty above international approval. That decision made him dangerous, not to Africans, but to those who profit from a weak Africa. After his removal, Damiba fled to Togo under a negotiated agreement meant to prevent bloodshed. But exile did not erase suspicion. In late 2024, Burkina Faso's military junta stripped Damiba of his rank entirely, accusing him of collusion with foreign powers. That move alone spoke volumes. Africa has seen this pattern before. Former leaders become tools. Tools become weapons. Weapons are used to destabilize nations from the shadows. And now, according to intelligence reports, Damiba may have crossed from exile into active conspiracy. According to Burkina Faso's Ministry of Security, intelligence services disrupted a major destabilization attempt planned for January 3, 2026. The allegations are explosive. Authorities claim the plot involved plans to assassinate President Ibrahim Traore at his residence. Not protest, not political pressure, assassination. They further allege an intended strike on the country's strategic drone base, designed to weaken national defense and open the door to a foreign-backed ground invasion. Even more disturbing, officials claim recruitment and funding networks were established, with money allegedly flowing from outside Burkina Faso, including Côte d'Ivoire. If proven, this would not be politics. This would be treason against Africa itself. Here is where the story becomes bigger than Burkina Faso. If reports are confirmed that Damiba was arrested in Lomé and transferred back to Burkina Faso, then Togo made a choice between shielding destabilizers or standing with African sovereignty. Speculation is growing that Togo is considering alignment with the Alliance of Sahel States, known as AES. AES represents something radical in modern African politics. African nations choosing each other, not foreign powers, for security, cooperation, and survival. If Togo joins AES, it sends a message across the continent. Africa can defend itself. This moment matters because it exposes an uncomfortable truth. Africa's biggest enemy is not lack of resources. It is not lack of intelligence. It is betrayal from within, encouraged by forces from outside. When African leaders choose Africa first, they are attacked, discredited, sanctioned, or removed. But something has changed. The people are watching, the soldiers are questioning orders, and young leaders like Ibrahim TRAORE are refusing to bow. This is not just Burkina Faso's fight. This is Africa's fight. Let this serve as a warning. Africa will no longer celebrate leaders who open the door for foreign domination. Africa will no longer protect those who sell their nations for comfort abroad. The era of silent coups and shadow wars is being exposed, and the era of African accountability is beginning. This story is still unfolding. Facts will be confirmed. Courts will decide guilt. But one thing is already clear. Africa is no longer asleep. Whether through AES, through courageous leadership, or through awakened citizens, the continent is reclaiming its voice.